YouTube? This is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the P-Bandai exclusive, or P-Bandai exclusive, HG Prototype Gouf Mobility Demonstrator in blue color version. Now, this is another one of those P-Bandai Origins kit, which is basically like a really minor detail change. Usually, up until most P-Bandai kits from the Origins line are usually recolors, while this is one of the kind of different ones that's going on. Now, basically, this is the prototype Gouf. The normal version we got, which was the Tactical Demonstrator, which, as from the name, we could assume that it was more focused on testing its equipment, while the Mobility Demonstrator, as mentioned in the name, we can expect that this is mostly testing its mobility instead of the weapon. So we got instead of having arms that have built-in hands, the normal version, the Tactical Demonstrator, having built-in weapons on its arms. The Mobility Demonstrator has normal hands, like a normal Zaku going on. And yeah, that's pretty much one of the only different sections of the kit. So once again, let's get on to the review. But before we actually get into small details, let's see what you get. Of course, what you get is the Gouf itself. You get a machine gun, which was seen in the Bugu and local types, and you get the same exact shield from the prototype Gouf as well. And let's look at stickers. Stickers, you get, well, pretty much the same. You get one mono eye sticker for the eye, of course. And then you get a decal sheet, which has a lot of good stuff going on. So that's that. Yeah. And then what you're supposed to normally get are, besides the ones I mentioned, are two hands, which is one is a open hand for the left hand, and then a multi-purpose hand for the right. And you get two heat hawks. One is a folded up version and that has a peg that you can store it on the side, or the normal open up version. So that's that. And now, being a P-Bandai kit, there's always high chances of having leftover parts from previous kits. But this one, I believe, has pretty much a lot of similar leftover parts from the normal version we got. First of all, you get these thrusters, which are a leftover. You get some leftover polycaps, as usual, a really good amount. And then you get this piece, which I think I accidentally cut this off on. But yeah, you get one of these pieces, which is, I believe, is for the leg or slash feet. And then this part, which is I believe these are from Zaku parts, that are kind of similar. But yeah, and that's pretty much it. Now, oh, and this part, which I believe, which is also from a Zaku, the origin Zaku, I mean. Now let's get on the review. Now this one, since it actually has a different arm, I will be going on articulation on that area. But before that, once again, I did review this, so I won't be reviewing similar the stuff this has. So I won't be going over shoulder articulation and such, but I will be going on the legs and arms, since there is a different size. So I just want to confirm that they're pretty much almost the same articulation. So once again, as you can see, they're pretty much almost exactly the same. The base kit is the same. There only is a minor change in detail. So as starters, as you can see, the head, body, and waist up until that is the same. The legs are technically the same. It's just that the sides are in different color. While this is a pure blue, this is in white. The arms, while the prototype Gouf, the Tactical Demonstrator, had, despite having arms like that, it had a pretty good articulation. And while that in mind, actually I'm going to take this part off just in case. This also has very good articulation. To be honest, most Origins can have great articulation and quality. I just want to mention that. So the arms are the same, and despite having different size, the articulation is pretty much the same, because even though having those pipes, since they are still the same build, you still have the same articulation regarding that. Now this is one of those simple reviews, because once again, I did review the normal version, so there's not much reason for me to go over of the same stuff that this thing has. And yeah, the knee problem is still present on my old version. So yeah, once again, The only difference, as I mentioned, are the arms entirely, because this one actually has pure blue color in that section, while this one actually has a white piece on it. I should also mention that there is one more prototype Gouf out there in premium Bandai form, which is exactly the same kit as the one you see right here, but with in a different color tone, which is like a sand brown color. Not exactly sand brown, but it's kind of like a brownish color, and which is actually the more rare version. I was actually looking for that in my last trip to Japan, I believe. Well, not no, my last trip to Japan. I technically was able to find one, but it was a little bit too late, and it was already time when I already found this one and purchased it. But this itself was already pretty high, and for in Japan standards, while the other color was even higher. So if you have the other color version, lucky you. So yeah, the articulation for the shoulder are pretty much the same. And then the leg side have a side swivel, can go forward about less than 90 degrees. The arms pretty much the same, and the shield is the same. And despite having a different arm, the shield connector itself is still the same connector. Still has that peg going on the side and for the arm. So once again, this one, it's not much of a special premium Bandai kit. If it's just more like a variation of the prototype Gouf. So unless you're like a big fan of the Mobile Suit or you just love the Gouf in general, this is for you. But if that's not the case, you're not missing out a lot. So you really don't need to, buy this. It's not like you're missing a lot. It's not like an amazing kit that you need to have, that everybody needs to have. Because personally, um, because in terms of weapon wise, you get more stuff with the prototype Gouf Tactical Demonstrator, because you have all these built-in weapons, and you even get a whip for it. But while this one does not give you that, which only gives you a shield, a heat hawk, and a machine gun. So that's only the minor differences. And if you have some skills, I assume you can take like from arms from a Zaku and then slap it on here. So So either way, it's not really a really big change. So anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the Premium Bandai exclusive HG Prototype Gouf Tactical Demonstrator. No, Mobility Demonstrator. Sorry, I keep getting that wrong. Mobility Demonstrator in blue color format. There's another version out there where it's only different color. The base kit is exactly the same. The articulation is pretty much the same, so you're not missing out much. Until then, see you guys next time.